Radical.
Hey, we're going to try out something new tonight. Going to call this Radical Rick Reddit Reads. R for short, Do not use Wata games for grading. A cautionary tale. I have had a sealed GameCube copy of Resident Evil Code Veronica for about 6 years. Since the price of games has shot up, I decided to get it graded. I had never had a game graded before, so I purchased the Select package from Wata Games late February 2020 and sent my game to be graded in August because COVID Plus didn't have a printer. In October, I noticed my order was still showing in the initial phase, so I emailed to ensure they received it. They didn't reply within 10 days, so I emailed again. They replied then with a rude email saying that only one person was working customer service and there was no reason to send them multiple emails. Their customer service liaison also said that because my purchase was in February, they would actually have the review done in December. January comes around and I email again. They say no, it's from August and they have additional days they count as business days that no one else does. So it actually won't be until May. May comes and goes, so I email again, and now it's taking longer than they thought, so won't be back until July. Today, June 9th, 212 business days from when I shipped my game out, they emailed me to say their grader cannot tell if my game was resealed or not. So I have to either have them open my sealed game and pay extra for the complete in-box review, which by the way is much more expensive now due to a recent price increase, or they will send my game back with a refund minus the $15 they are going to charge me for it being reviewed at all. So whatever you do, stay away from Wata Games. Update. They replied back less than 3 hours later saying they are sure it's resealed and will grade for complete in box at no extra charge if I want. This still seems fishy to me because how do you go from not being sure to being certain in such a short time when it took them so long to review it in the first place? Now, that was a great comment and an insane story, cautionary tale, but there's a great reply from BC Programming. And this, as you can see, is fresh. Very fresh. 3 minutes ago this was posted. I feel game grading is a scam. Their graders don't have special experience. They are just collectors. It makes no sense. It's like getting a painting verified, authenticated by somebody who just has a lot of paintings. They've happily graded fake prototypes, reseals, misprints, etc. Some have also tested and removed their graded game and sent it in to be graded again, and it got different scores, sometimes higher. It's owned and operated by game collectors, and the purpose is simple: drive up prices. Wata was founded by Deniz Khan. He was given the money to start Wata by one of the 3 co-owners of Heritage Auctions, so he basically functions on their behalf. Those same 3 bought Dane Anderson's collection for $225,000. This also included NintendoAge.com, and the main focus of the contract is Nintendo Age must cease to exist and all historical pricing must be wiped out. The goal of that is to make it harder for collectors to base prices on legitimate sales or compare the prices of auctions to what would otherwise be the going value. Heritage Auctions uses shill bidding to raise prices on their auctions to gain news attention. Every year or so you hear about a Super Mario Bros. Sealed sells for $10,000 or something. Normally the shill bidders are one of the main 3 investors. If these auctions fail to find a chump, they will uncase the games and Wata will recase with a new case, different certificate, and a similar grade, so it looks like a different copy of the game when they relist it. Dane Anderson sold his collection to Wata for $225,000, after which Wata quietly wiped NA from history. Sorry, there's a bad scratch I got here. My apologies. They rebranded NA's work as the Carolina Collection and sold Mega Man 1, Mike Tyson, and 2 other games and made back all their money from buying NA from Dane Anderson. So basically, 1. Remove all reliable price references that collectors can use to determine the collectible value of games. Number 2, drive up prices of auctions to cause them to eventually sell for high sums, which sets a new price value for said games. Number 3, profit because as collectors, you can directly benefit from the inflated values. Additionally, by having the high value auctions be for graded games, it increases the value of the paid grading service because it legitimizes it, so collectors are more likely to use it. That's a great comment and a great reply to that comment. It kind of explains a lot of what's going on with Wata and what a lot of people are talking about recently here. So it's kind of like a circle jerk, kind of like a snake eating its own tail, basically. It's just a circle because, you have these big news outlets that a Super Mario game or, a Mike Tyson or something sells for an obscene amount of money, right? A graded game. This graded version sells for this much. But the thing is, if you control the grading and that's an arm, then basically you have a direct conflict of interest. So you see the news story and they're just laughing their asses off because, it sets the collector world in a frenzy because now everyone wants to go get their Mario games graded by Wata. They want to go get graded there. And the thing is, it's fraudulent. It's all fraudulent. So actual collectors that actually want to find out, by trends, market trends, what things are actually going for in places, they see this as just an obscene market manipulation. There's one thing I want to focus on, talk about for a couple minutes here, and that is how, see here. At the beginning of this reply, said it's like getting a painting verified, authenticated by somebody who just has a lot of paintings. They've happily graded fake prototypes, reseals, misprints. Some have also tested and removed their graded game and it's sent in to be graded again and it got a different score. Okay, that shows you right there how fraudulent it is. If you get a game graded and you get maybe a 9.1 and then you send the exact game back and then you get a 9.4, that's a problem. Because the thing is, money hinges on these actual grades. So you have a system to where, they're not professionals. They're just people that collect games. So if you have a game grading service and they don't even know what the fuck they're doing, then it delegitimizes the whole thing. And I have a particular issue with the fake prototypes. And there was a story that I also read here on Reddit talking about a fake prototype, the SNES prototypes, to where fake prototypes were sent in and they graded it like they were real. And what about, what you call them, repros? There was a Mother repro game and all these games that are basically, just kind of like reproductions, not the actual game, not the actual print run. But you have a freaking reproduction of something and they grade repo cards. You heard that correctly. That's they're fraudulent things. Repros are fraudulent games. I mean, they work at everything. They fit the need for having an actual version of the game. But how are you going to be legitimate if you're actually grading reproductions? But beyond this, it makes you kind of think about, of course, Wata is a scam and everything, but to the other game grading services, I don't know what the names of the other ones are, but it really brings into question game grading in itself.